Okay, welcome to today's topic. This is Zoom with CBD Ed, and we're going to be talking about edibles. An interesting thing about edibles is once they started showing up, they had actually been around before the movement of CBD. The recreational folks in the THC world started using edibles many years ago. Brownies and cookies and different types of candies. But once the CBD market blew up, those edibles moved over into the CBD space. And the reason I point this out is because as CBD became legal, and then followed by THC becoming legal, first medically and then recreationally, the presence of edibles grew tremendously. And it would not be unusual for somebody to have either brownies, cookies, or gummies laying around in their house that could be THC, could be CBD, could be vitamins, could be something from your candy store. And it was very difficult to tell to maybe some of our younger family members. So I want to put everybody on alert that can happen, including your pets. You get some brownies and you get some cookies, and dogs don't know, so they'll eat it up. So I wanted to bring that to you, is that the availability of these products do require some attention. Now let's start with what types of edibles are out there today. We have them in three groups. We have sweets, we have beverages, and we have capsules. Sweets are what we had just talked about. Most common out there are going to be gummies and certain types of candies. Then we have cookies and baked goods, and that's what you'll see in the sweets category. We go over to beverages. You already see this in the market now. The market is full of just cans of and bottles of CBD infused beverages. You will also see that CBD has made it into both CBD and THC has made it into the alcohol market as well. And then the final category is capsules. Capsules being something that you can ingest, you can swallow it. That'll have the CBD in it. Okay, so those are the type of edibles currently out in the market. And I gotta say, there are some interesting ones too. We've seen honey make its play. So they infuse honey and put in little straws. We've just seen a myriad of different types of candies. I went to an event and there were Skittles. There was a version of Skittles that had CBD and a version of Skittles that had THC. All right. So let's talk about potencies. So when we talk about just CBD, the average dose of a per edible seems to be around 10 milligrams. All right. Now, when you look at the label, again, because regulations kind of lean in this area, you need to look at the label and determine when it says on the bottle whether it's talking about the per gummy, the per dose, or what's in the entire container. Be very clear about that, because when I start talking about how much you should take, that will be an important discovery of you, is exactly what is in each one of the items in that edible. Okay? And that is just simply reviewing the label and doing a good job. Sometimes you can't just do it from the front of the label. You have to go to the back of the label where you see the per serving information, and that'll help clear things up. Now, when we come to THC edibles, that game's a little bit different. So in conversations I've had with other people and studies, it seems to be 5 milligrams of THC in a single edible seems to be that breaking point. So anything below that is not super psychoactive, but as soon as you get above 5 milligrams, you're going to start feeling that feeling of high, that effect. But let me tell you where it goes. It goes from 5 all the way up to, we've seen 100 milligrams per edible. Okay. Now that's because you just have a lot of people in the market who are going to try to appease to those who want more. So when we go to THC, remember it's a very recreational market. So, hey, everybody knows this. You got in the liquor market, you've got beer and wine at 6%, and then you've got 151 Everclear. So, right? So same thing in the THC market. Okay, why are people using edibles? All right, first of all, I want to tell you that from our experience, it's because they're easy. They're easy to put into your daily routine. They're easy to put, gummies. You can throw them in a Ziploc bag and take them out throughout the day. They don't have a smell to them. They're just easy. If you choose the beverage direction, again, you can add this stuff to your water, or you can have your favorite beverage just sitting around your office desk. So it's just easy. The other reason is it's familiar. So people are used to digesting things like vitamins, well, just your normal dietary needs on a daily basis. So it's also familiar. Now, the one other thing that experienced users of CBD might move over to an edible is because as an edible goes through your digestive system, it tends to stay in your system longer. So where you might have drops under your tongue and it might give you relief for 3 hours, if you do an edible, you might get that relief stretched out to 6 hours. Okay, and I say might because everybody's digestive system is a little bit different. So those are the 3 reasons somebody would choose an edible. Now, from a condition place, edibles really can go across the whole spectrum of conditions. Edibles can affect mood, relief from normal discomforts, and relaxings. Areas that we need to relax. So those are why people choose edibles. I talked a little bit about this, but let's do it again. Can you get high with edibles? If you are purchasing a CBD product that is compliant, you cannot get high from it. Compliant says max is 0.3% THC. So 0.3 is very small. So remember I told you at 5% is when things start to happen. So 0.3 is very, very, very low. THC, quite different. If you're on the THC side, I already explained 5 to 100. And if you get caught up in the conversation about Delta 8 as opposed to Delta 9, Delta 8 is a little less euphoric than Delta 9. So some people are using it for anxieties, and there's even studies that it's being used in addiction, like getting off opiates and such like that. There's studies out there for that too. But again, you have to be mindful that Delta 8 is still psychoactive. If you come across it. Now, let's work on finding your dose. Now, there's factors to consider when trying to figure out your dose when using an edible. Again, different from other types of deliveries. The 2 factors I want you to consider are weight and the severity of your condition. Weight does have an impact because this is your digestive system. Your digestive system was fit for your body size. So as our size increases, so does the need for an increase in CBD. Okay, so if I was a 100-pound person, I would do 10 milligrams of CBD in a single dose. If I was a 200-pound person, I would do 20. Okay? Other things I want you to consider when doing a edible. And the first and most important thing is the delay. The delay is a real thing. So where you can inhale a CBD or a THC product and feel the effects within a minute, maybe 3 at the most. Okay, you can put it under your tongue and feel the effects inside of 15 or 20 minutes. But when you digest it, get ready for the wait. Okay, so 45 minutes is an average, but I've seen anywhere from 30 all the way up to an hour and a half. All right. If you are trying to find your dose, you have to keep that piece in mind. You take a dose, you're waiting that time period to see the effects before you take another dose. Okay, if not, one or two things are going to happen. It's just an economic thing. So if 20 milligrams was able to do it for you, then you don't have to take more. But you really won't know that until you let it go through its process. Now let's move this over to THC products. Again, you take a gummy with some THC in it, 30 minutes go by, you don't feel anything, so you take another. Well, we call this a potential THC storm, because once you get there, you can't get out of it. Okay? So again, keeping in mind, edibles take a little bit of time to get in, so we have to curb that time. And now that you have those that things to consider, the steps look like this. You take that minimum dose, as I talked to, relative to your body weight, and now consider if your pains are severe, and I said you were 100 pounds and take 10 milligrams, well, if your pains are severe, take 20 milligrams. If you're 200 pounds and I ask you to take 20 milligrams, if your condition is severe, then I want you to take 40. All right. One thing about ingesting CBD is that the bioavailability of that product, because it went through your digestive system, is anywhere from 40% to 60% of it goes away. Okay, so this is why you'll often find those who know how to do this, they'll make their gummies more potent because they know the digestive system is going to strip a bit of it away. Okay? All right, so the step is going to be this. You're going to take your dose. You're going to wait to see its effectiveness inside of about an hour, hour and a half at the outside. And then you can adjust your dose after that to find out where it is, because you got a whole container of these and you want to be effective about its use so that you can, A, make them effective in helping you out, but two, that you can be economical about your product so it'll last longer. Because that's really what it's about. Remember, CBD does not accumulate in your body. So it's not an issue of taking too much, unless you want to go through your body, your product quicker. So let's talk about Cannafyl's approach to edibles, because we do feel like ours are unique. It's kind of science-based, but it's also like we really care about the condition that we're trying to help our customers with. So I want to talk a few things. First of all, in our formulation of the ingredients of any of our edibles, it's always going to be specific condition formulation. Always. So it's always a number one for us. The second thing that's super important to us is keeping it natural. So you look at any gummy thing that you get from a grocery store, and you're going to see 23 items of ingredients. You look at ours, you're going to see 3 or 6 or whatever my formulation was. So we take the extra step to try to minimize the amount of ingredients that especially are not natural, and really just target what it was designed for. Our gum, any of our products, they're not candy. They were designed to help you with something. So we kept that in mind when we formulated it. We also made our potencies higher. So we made the per item strong enough to recognize that the bioavailability was potentially going to get cut in half. So that was kind of our approach. I do want to share what our edibles look like. So in our gummies, first of all, they are a broad condition formulation. In other words, we try to go across all 3 of the conditions. Relief from, how did I put that so that I can stay compliant here? Relief from things that are discomforting, help you with mood, and then help you be relaxed. So we did a broad formulation there. We also kept all the products natural and very few ingredients in there. And the last is we flavored it grape, because, hey, hemp products aren't super terrifically tasting. They taste like a green bush. They're very effective, but they certainly aren't the gummies you get at the store. All right, so the gummies are 25 milligrams per gummy. They do not test at 25. We always strive minimum 10% over. So they will always, at a minimum, hit that 25. And there's 25 gummies in a jar, and the jar is at $59.95. Our second edible is our Vibe beverage additive. Beverage additive means that you can take our product and add it to any beverage you want. The per dose on that has 15 milligrams of CBD. There are 30 doses in the bottle, and then that Vibe goes for $34.95. Let me talk about this product because it has a very unique characteristic to it. We took the CBD molecule and micronized it. And we did that for, the first reason you do that is so that it will mix with water, because CBD is naturally an oil and it doesn't like water. So we micronized it so that it would. But the second thing we did is we shrunk that molecule down by 600%. I mean, really, really made it small. And now your body looks at it as this little tiny particle like water, and it manages like water. So it goes through your body very fast. So the onset of our Vibe drink additive, if you threw it in a bottle of water and took it to work and drank it, you would feel its effects inside of 10 minutes is the idea. You would also feel the majority of it. It's not going to dissipate through your digestive system because your body's going to look at it very similar to water. So that was the thing about micronizing that molecule, was to speed up its delivery and increase its bioavailability. And yeah, we have to have very unique machines now to be able to do that, because it has to pound on the molecule until it gets to a certain size. Okay. And so when our drink additives are flavored, again, just to offset that hempy flavor just enough so that you could pour 1 milliliter into your little 16-ounce water bottle and you're not going to taste it, nor will you see it. And you won't have to shake it. You won't have to do anything. It acts just like water. And then the last edible that we have is for our pet friends. Now we have an approach here too. We wanted to make it a food additive. And we chose this direction because we started with treats, and then we thought, wow, who are our biggest users of our pet CBD products? And it was our aging pets. And what's the one thing you want to do to your aging pets? You don't want to feed them a bunch of treats because, well, the problem tends to get bigger because, they can, the treats can become, they'll want them. You want to give them to them a lot. And then there's an issue of weight gain. All right. So with our food additive, there is 17 milligrams of CBD per dropper. And I'll come back to that. There is 30 of these droppers in the bottle. It goes for $59.95. They'll use it for calming, relief from conditions that are related to aging, and again, no impact to diet. Now let's talk about that 17 milligrams per dropper. If you reach out to us, we can actually send you a schedule based on your pet's size and severity of conditions. But the reality is that 17 milligrams, it would look something like this. As if you had a very small dog somewhere in that 16 pounds, you may only be giving that pet 2 milligrams. Okay, if you had a 100-pound beast of a dog, then you may be giving 15 milligrams of CBD to that dog. So then you can take that knowledge and understand how you would move through our pet drops additive. And remember, it goes in their food, and it can go into any food. The carrier of that CBD was MCT oil, which is designed to be terrific for their digestive system. Okay. All right. That is today's topic on CBD topicals. I hope it was helpful, and please feel free to reach out to me if I can provide any clarity in any of this stuff. So my new sign out today is, have a Cannafyl day.